Welcome to the Using Enhanced Email Options with Embedded BI Publisher tutorial. The JD Edwards Enterprise One Embedded BI Publisher enables you to send reports to recipients in an email according to the options you select in the report definitions bursting and delivery form. The bursting and delivery form for an Embedded BI Publisher report definition includes several new fields. These fields enable you to choose various email options. The report definition application is P95620, which you can access by using the FastPath or from the Report Management menu on the web client. The address book number email option on the bursting and delivery form delivers output to the email address associated with a specific JD Edwards Enterprise One address book number. If you want to deliver output to all members of a distribution list associated with that address book number, select the distribution list type option and enter the appropriate value. To deliver all bursted output in a single report, select the Consolidate Bursted Report for Address Number option. If you want to deliver output to a specific email address, select the Email Address option and enter an email address. The search button enables you to select a language preference for the recipient. To deliver all bursted output in a single report, select the Consolidate Bursted Report for Email Address option. The recipients for the Data-Driven Email option are determined by the data from a particular item in the XML output, specifically the XPath field that contains the recipient data. You now have the option to deliver the report definition output to recipients in their language preference as well, as determined by the language preference in the XML output. You can also customize the delivery email subject line and message to indicate the email's purpose, which we'll discuss shortly. If you want to override the From email address for the email, enter in an alternate email address in the From Email Address Override field. Next, I'll show you how to create a customized email message for the report definition output. To customize the email subject line and body, you must create a data dictionary glossary item and associate it with the report definition. There are several ways to create a glossary data item. You can use the Data Dictionary Error Messages selection on the Solution Explorer menu, but Oracle recommends that you create the glossary item in an Object Management Workbench project so that it can be promoted through the project lifecycle. To do this, access OMW and create a project. In the OMW project, click the Add button. Select Data Item and then click OK. Click Yes to add a glossary data item. For the alias field, enter a name that identifies the glossary item. Enter E for the glossary group. Glossary group E is used for error messages, warning messages, and information messages. Be sure to use an appropriate product code and product reporting code for the custom data item. For customers, these codes are 55 through 59. The description field is used as the email subject line. In the error level field, enter 3 to identify the glossary item as an information message. Click the Item Glossary tab. Enter the body of the message in the text area. In this example, the email subject line and text will be the same each time the report definition is submitted. Now I'll show you how to create an email message with words that can change each time the report definition is submitted. If you want some of the words to vary, you can use text substitution variables. Text substitution placeholders are shown by an ampersand and a number, such as &1, in the subject line or message text. We'll modify the glossary data item with several placeholders for text that will vary. The values will be supplied by the data items in a data structure that we'll define and attach to the glossary item. For the email subject line, instead of Your Current Invoice, we'll replace the word current with a variable for a date, the &1, which can change each time the report definition is submitted. Depending on how we set up the report definition, the value for the variable must either be changed manually or the value will change dynamically each time the report definition is submitted. I'll discuss these options later in this tutorial. In the body of the message, we'll replace the word current with &1 for the date, the same as in the subject line, and we'll replace the word monthly with &2 so that the type of invoice can vary from monthly to daily, weekly, or any other value. To supply values to the text substituted variables, we need to attach a data structure template to the glossary item. But before we can do that, we need to design the data structure. The data structure will consist of a data item for each text substituted placeholder, the &1 and &2, in the subject and body of the message. To create the data structure, in the OMW project, click Add. Select Data Structure and then click OK. Enter the appropriate properties for the data structure and then click OK. In OMW, click the Data Structure object and then click the Design button. Click the Design Tools tab and then click the Data Structure Design button. On the Data Dictionary Items tab, use the QBE line to locate the data dictionary items that you want to include in the data structure. For the date variable, we'll use data dictionary alias IVD. Drag and drop each data item into the left panel to create the data structure. For the invoice type, I've used the description data item. Click OK to save the data structure. Now we can attach the data structure to a glossary data item. Access the glossary data item and then click the Data Structure Template tab. Use the Browse button to locate the data structure you created and select it. Then click OK to save the data item. Now we can attach the glossary data item to the report definition. Go to the report definitions bursting and delivery form and enter the glossary data item in the data item for subject and body field. To the right of the field is the Define Values button. Click the button to define the values for the text substituted variables in the subject and body of the email message. You can fill in the structure member value fields manually whenever the report definition is submitted. For example, I can enter 6/30/12 for the invoice date and monthly for the invoice type. Another option is to use dynamic text substitution, whereby the system supplies the values when the report definition is published based on the XPath from the XML data output. For example, if you want the email to dynamically include the invoice date, you would provide an XPath similar to this example for the structure member value. For bursted reports, the XPath value could be different for each recipient depending upon which XPath was used. You must precede the XPath value with a / so that the system recognizes it as an XPath and not as a literal value. Let's review the steps to customize an email subject line and message sent by a report definition. If you plan to use variable text in the email subject line or message body, create a data structure for the text substituted values. Create a data dictionary glossary item for the subject and body of the message. Attach the data structure you created if the subject or body contains text substituted values. Enter the name of the glossary data item on a report definitions bursting and delivery form. For glossary data items with variable text, use the Define Values button to define values for the text substituted variables. Summarizing the enhanced email options. The distribution list type field enables you to deliver output to all members of a distribution list associated with an address book number. Consolidate Bursted Report enables you to deliver all bursted output in a single report. The From Email Address Override field enables you to enter an alternate email address as the sender of the email. The Language option enables you to specify the language for the delivered output. And finally, you can create a customized subject and body for the delivery email message. This concludes the Using Enhanced Email Options with Embedded BI Publisher tutorial.